What? I just spent an hour and a half with you. You want me to say hi to you? I'm not good at talking. Yeah, I will. You're going to be our economy. I'm not. So, if you're a refugee, come up to a part-time supporter and stuff. Okay. Did you feel like I was saying? I got it right. It's been almost 8 years. I thought it was. I'll have to work for it. Good. I know. Break up. Break up. Break up. You're up. Get up. Come on. Break up. Let me get it out. No. I did.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning, Webb. Happy Homecoming Friday. Who's ready for a game tonight? Who's ready? Let's go. Let's get that first W tonight, all right? Let's get it done. Before we get started, we have a very busy day today. I want to recognize a lot of great work that was done across campus. The flowers are beautiful. So I want to thank Winston and everybody that helped with the flowers and all of the fall decorations. Great job, everybody. Today's scripture reading is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 16 through 19. And we are continuing our talk about learning. There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. We've been talking about learning. Learning is an enjoyable and ongoing process. It's a lifelong endeavor. And guys, like we talked about Wednesday, learning doesn't just take place in the classroom. It takes place all around you every second of every day. And in order to learn, the first thing we have to do is respect and love and to be kind to one another. Don't be that false witness. Don't be that one that starts rumors and gossip. Be that one that stands up and says, no, that's not so. I'm going to stand up for love and what's right. That is what strengthens our community. And when we strengthen our community, we strengthen the world around us. And we can do it. Thank you all.
Good morning. Today we have one junior presentation from Daisy Liu from Ningbo, China. And hello everyone, I'm Daisy Liu, and this is my 4th year at WEB. For my junior project, I decided to paint a dragon. The reason why I decided to do this for my junior project is because I was always fascinated by art since I was just a child. And I think junior project will be the perfect chance for me to learn something new, which is wash painting. Wash painting is a kind of Chinese traditional painting skill. It has history that lasts for like 5,000 years. And as long as I know what am I going to do my project, I divided my project into 6 steps. The first step is going to be brainstorming. I made a mind map to help me figure out what am I going to do for this painting. And it ended up with this kind of dragon called Inlong. This is the kind of dragon that both represent peace, love, and war at the same time. And it always appears in Chinese traditional story. And after notice what I'm going to do, I started to do the resource, finding the resource. First, I was just doing the research online to see if there's any stories or pictures I can use online. However, I realized there's not much thing that really helps me. Then I went to the library. And unfortunately, I did not find something that can inspire me of like, what am I going to do for this painting? And by the time I don't know what to do, and my teachers back in China called me that there's an artist it's painting a huge dragon in the temple in our city. And I went to the temple and sit there for like 2 afternoons, watch the artist painting that dragon. And this time, that really inspired me. By the moment, I know what am I going to do for this painting. And his painting is like this one is a red bottom, and others are the resources I find online. After notice what I'm going to do, I did my first rough sketch. I did this on an iPad program called Procreate, and after I done the sketch, I'm kind of confident with what am I going to do. The next step is going to be figure out the material. At first, I was thinking about using the rice paper as a resource of painting on, and this is the most traditional way as well. And however, it's really hard for me to find the rice paper in the right size I want, and it's also going to cost a lot of money. So I decided to use a huge board. This board is like really big, it's as long as my height. And so I would have to use a huge brush like this so that I can paint on this. And also I use some spray painting to help me as well. I think the combination of modern art and classic skills will make this project more impressive. And here is also a picture of me and my teacher struggling in front of my studio of what am I supposed to do. And here's going to be a video introduced to you my step by step for the project.
Basically flat, just
Unfortunately, I did not get to video the last part of me using the spray painting to finish my artwork. And here's my final product. So the problem I faced in this project is that I only got one chance to paint on that board. So by the time I sketched it out on the board, it turned out to be too big. However, I fixed this problem and it turned out to be okay. And also, it is really hard to reach my expectation. I had a really high expectation on this project because I was keep thinking this is my junior project. I had to make this perfect. And so it's not like as good as what I was expected before I started to do this project. And what I learned through this project, first of all, is going to be the problem-solving skills. I realized when the time I'm facing the problem, the first thing I'm supposed to do is not freak out, but like calm down and think, what can I do that can really fix the problem I'm facing? And another thing is going to be patient. If I cannot be patient and sit still there for 2 afternoons in the temple, I will never get to make this project. Of course, wash painting skills. And last, which is most importantly, I learned about my weakness. Through this project, I realized I was always too confident about my art skills and unwilling to step out my comfort zone to learn new things and try new skills. I was always avoiding the changing. And through this project, I realized there's a lot of space for me to improving on, and nothing can be perfect. And I will never be perfect because there's always going to be something that I can move on and learn. There's so much things in this world. At last, I will sincerely thank you for my mom for the financial support. my friend Khalil for always with me through the process and support me, my teachers in the studio for guiding me through the process and teach me the wash painting skills, Ms. Brzezinska for being a such wonderful advisor, and tech crew, and all of you for listening.
Thank you, Daisy. For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Mr. L.R. Smith. I used to work here. That I used to be the chapel guy, now so ably replaced by Mr. Edwards. But that it's 150th anniversary weekend. Well, 2 years late. Circumstances being what they are. And so, which put me in the mind of some history. That what I used to do, every now and then was tell a few stories about the old days at Webb, the very old days at Webb, the Sony Webb days at Webb, how it used to be. And Mr. Edwards was talking about y'all learning things. And so for those of you out in the ether world who maybe don't know anything about the history of this school, that here's a story that Sony Webb used to tell nearly 150 years ago, about the school and about the kinds of people at the school and the kinds of people that he wanted at the school. And I think it is as appropriate today as it was when Sonny was telling it well over 100 years ago. Let's see. I think the problem these days is that not too many people know too much about animal husbandry. How much y'all know about horses? Who knows anything about horses? All right. Who knows anything about breeding horses? Very good. Very good. We got one. So very good. So the thing you got to remember is that when Sony told this story, it was back in the horse and buggy days. So horses were the source of transportation. That Sony always liked to have a good buggy horse, because the horse would always know where it was going, and Sony could just sit in the buggy and read a book. He was into innovation. He bought one of the first cars, one of the first automobiles in Bedford County, but didn't like it all that much because, basically he couldn't drive and read at the same time. It's very difficult. So he preferred a horse. So, and again, they didn't have used car lots because they didn't have cars. So what you would do if you needed a horse, you needed a form of transportation, you went to the county fair. And that's where people get together and horse trade. So you got to remember that. And also, if this story is going to make any sense, you got to understand what harness racing is. Harness racing is sort of like thoroughbred racing, except in thoroughbred racing, the jockey sits on the horse and races. In harness racing, the jockey sits in a two-wheeled cart, and the horse is harnessed to the cart, and they race that way. And harness racing is still very popular, particularly in the Midwest. So bear that in mind. Now this story, actually the story comes from this book here. This is The Schoolmaker by Lawrence McMillan, who taught English at the Webb Schools of Claremont, California. And it's pretty much the biography of Sony Webb, and it's an excellent source of history for the school in its first 70 odd years. And so I encourage you to read it. So it comes out, this story comes out of the Schoolmaker. One more thing. It used to be when I did this, you seniors were sophomores. The last time I did this on a regular basis, we would do something of a call and response. Were any of you people awake back then who might be able to give some responses? Very good. Very good. All right, here we go. This is Lawrence McMillan talking here, but think of what this is about. Think of what this is about. The boy who particularly touched the heart of old Sawney was the shy one, the poor one, the ignorant one, the one who felt inferior, unsure, underprivileged, or afraid, yet was in deep earnest under his desperation. There may be folks like that sitting in here or listening to this. Don't talk to me about blue bloods that sit at the foot of the class, he would say. If that's so, I'd rather have soap suds or frog spawn in my veins. I'm for the scrub horse that's got the go in him. The thing you got to remember here, a scrub, as McMillan says, a scrub is a poor, insignificant person, as well as a domestic animal of inferior breed. And Sawney aimed his story at the poor, insignificant person, and he told it something like this. Years ago, when I lived in Culleoka, I went to the county fair. Man came up to me and said, Mr. Webb, won't you buy this little horse from me? He was a trim horse. Is he a blood horse? I asked. No, sir. No blooded horse, but he sure has got the... There you go. How much you want for him? $75. $75. I don't want any scrub, I said. I want a thoroughbred. I paid $100. I paid $100 for the horse I bought that day. A neighbor bought the scrub, strapped into an old two-wheeled surrey, drove away from the fairgrounds. Just then, a man driving a beautiful bay hitched to a new buggy came thundering up behind and started to pass the scrub. What's this you're going to do? The little horse said. Pass me? Well, not much. It wasn't long before he was tossing dust back into the face of that big horse. He was a scrub, but he seemed to say, come on with that shiny buggy. Pass me if you can. Well, the new owner said, well, he surely has got the go in him, but he's a scrub. He'll never hold that gait. But he did, and the new owner got to thinking, I believe I'll give him a blooded horse's chance. Well, the owner fed him carefully and rubbed him down, exercised him, then entered him in his first harness race. He lined up with the other horses. The old starter waved his handkerchief, and the scrub found himself on the outside, the hardest place to run. But he didn't whine or cry. He didn't say, well, they ought not to put me in the class of those town boys. I never had a chance. That he said, all my life I've heard that blue blood is for running purposes. I'll just see what's in it. They tore around the track. He nosed over, got away from the outside, passed one horse. Well, I trapped one of them, he said. He passed another and another. He took the lead on the inside, and the scrub horse came streaking under the wire, a winner. My son, here's some actual history. I've been told that horse in 6 months sold for? No. $1,400. Sold for $1,400. And within a short time, sold for much, much more. He became one of the most famous horses in the history of harness racing. Little Brown Jug. That one day, leaning out of my schoolhouse window in Culleoka, I saw Major Campbell Brown. Yes, I saw Major Campbell Brown with the strangest looking drove of horses you can imagine. I went out and said, Major, what are you going to do with all those horses? Sawney, he replied, you see that old horse over there? Well, that is Tom Howe, and he's the sire, the father of Little Brown Jug. I just bought him and all Little Brown Jug's kinfolks I could find. Now, one of the finest lines of harness racing stock in the country goes back to Tom Howe, the sire of Little Brown Jug, the little scrub horse with the... My son, I want you to do what Little Brown Jug did. I want you to go out into the world and pedigree your ancestors. Think about that. Pedigree your ancestors is what Macmillan says. Pedigree your ancestors. Give your granddaddies a proud name. Have not Americans of all races from every inhabited part of the earth been doing just that since this nation first became a new idea? My son, listen to me. I want to repeat, Sawney declared. There isn't a boy here, never has been, that can't do well in life if he will but try. But somebody comes along and says, I want to be preeminent. You have no right to expect that. My son, I'm going to try to rise above the average by hard work. But if I can just get up to a good average, I'll be mighty comfortable. If you can't do big things, just do your best. Thus endeth the reading for the morning. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, LR. Good morning to you. Parents who are joining us, thank you for being here. It is my pleasure to introduce an alumnus from the class of 1961. Mr. Henry Ray is in town celebrating his 60th anniversary. Since it's our 150th celebration, as Mr. Smith just alluded to, we thought it was very appropriate for you to hear from Mr. Ray. Mr. Ray is the co-owner and president of Ray and Pointer Properties, a residential company in Birmingham, Alabama. He attended Webb for 3 years. He went on to attend the University of Alabama and then the Cumberland School of Law. He served in the Army and then began his professional career in the real estate business in 1972. He founded the Ray Company in 1976. And then I'm about to tell you a bunch of ways that he has positively influenced the greater Birmingham area. Before I do that, what I'd like to say is for all of you, we want to see you intending and actually influencing your communities for good, reflecting this mission and these enduring values that you've learned here at the Webb School. But this is what Mr. Ray has done. His professional and civic associations include serving on the Parkinson Association Board of Alabama, Magic Moments Advisory Board, the New Coleman Society, Echo Foundation, University of Alabama, Birmingham School of Nursing Board, Summit Club Board, Board of Advisors for Birmingham Southern College, St. Vincent's Foundation Board, Birmingham Botanical Gardens Board, Birmingham Historical Society Board, the Metro YMCA, Birmingham Rotary Club, and an elder in the Presbyterian Church in Birmingham. He has made a mighty impact. As you can hear from the introduction, he believes in what Sawney Webb said, take a hand in the game. I can personally attest to this, that he believes the Webb School to be a special place, as I visited him and talked with him back in the spring with Mr. Wilson. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Henry Ray.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I appreciate that. I grew up in the country, sort of, and my father said, you're going to Webb School. And I didn't have a choice. I hated it when I first came. My senior year, I loved it. But the real reason that I come back to see this school and I support Webb School is because this school made my circle bigger. My daddy said that honesty is not special, it's required. He was right. But the Webb School ensured that with what? Do you all remember? Starts with an N. What is it? Sir? Noli res sodali facere? I love this school now because it really impacted my life. My faith and my family has had the biggest impact on me, but Webb School was the third. It literally made my circle bigger. It made me realize that I have responsibilities beyond myself. It gave me the assurance that I was independent. It let me know that I could be involved with anybody I chose. It made me realize I had responsibilities to help somebody besides myself. It gave me reason to believe that I could do what somebody else might not could do. I have a question for you all. Can I move over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It made me real. I don't wear socks, and I didn't forget them. I just don't like them. So I don't want anybody to think that I just forgot them. I am 78, but I do remember some things. But I want you to hear from me today about something that means something to me after I got out of school. I enjoyed my time here, but the real impact of Webb was when I got in life. I realized that I had obligations, as I mentioned a while ago, but I have empathy for other people. If I'm gonna talk to you, I wanna listen and learn something from you, but I want you to learn something from me too. I wanna look at your eyes and you look at mine, but I want us to gain, because it's my time, it's valuable, and so is yours. When I ask you something, I want to be sure that I really want to know what I ask you, and I hope you're going to ask me the same thing. That's my circle bigger. I want to be an impact to somebody else. I don't want to be selfish all of my life. I'm pretty good with me, but I want to be pretty good with you. I want to have the ability to talk to anybody I want to talk to, whether you've got a lot of money, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're broke, whether you're educated or whether not, whether you're ugly or whether you're pretty. I want to learn something from you, and I want you to learn something from me. And Webb School taught me that. We have a business called Ray and Porter Nance, a boutique real estate firm in Birmingham. We've had a bigger firm. We had a firm that we sold to Berkshire Hathaway. I never met him, by the way. But we sold a firm, it was really big, and then we've had small firms, and I like the small ones better than the big. But we have some principles in our firm that's good principles of life. Why do business with me? I say business is kind of funny because I grew up in the country, as I told you. But why should you do business with me? And this is maybe something with you, whatever you decide to do in life when you leave here. You might want to remember some of this, I hope. Why should you be nice to me? Why should you do business with me? You don't owe me anything. But what is it in for you to do business with me? And my answer to that is that I can do what you need to be done at least as well as anybody else. Aside from that, you shouldn't do business with me. Does anybody believe that? Do you believe that? What did I say? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. Do you know what I said? Okay, I gotta make it clear. The question I said is, I'm in business in somehow, I'm a minister, I'm in the real estate business, I'm a financier, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, whatever I am. But why should you do business with me, whatever that business is? And my answer to that is, I can do it, what you need done, at least as well as anybody else. Does that make sense to you? Kind of, sort of?
Yes, sir.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to tell you that that's the way I do my life. I want to impact you and you impact me. It's a two-way deal. And that's important to me to spend my time with you and you spend my time with me. When I came to the web school, I didn't know anybody, and certainly nobody knew me. But the camaraderie that I learned from people who were much smarter than I meant more to me than anything I could ever say, because they taught me more than I taught them. And the web school taught me principles in life, and that is this. Making my circle bigger meant that I need to go beyond average. I didn't need to be ordinary. I wanted to have responsibility for me to impact more people than just myself. In other words, I didn't want to be selfish. And that means something to me, because the more impact I can be on you, the better off our relationship is. What's the single most important thing that the web school has done for you?
Independence.
That's what I said to begin with, and it gives me independence as well. Good for you. What do you intend to do when you leave here? Good for you. What are you going to do when you leave here?
Aim to be successful.
I beg your pardon?
Aim to be successful.
Okay. You want to make a lot of money? What are you going to do when you leave here, Belmont? Do what?
No, probably not. So like what do I do? Finish flying off the show. What do I do? I don't know yet.
Okay. What are you going to do with the glasses? What are you going to do when you leave here?
Hopefully finish out college.
Okay. The gentleman behind you, what are you going to do when you leave here?
Finish out college.
How about you? Yes, sir.
I'll go study math and engineering.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I'll study math, like mathematics or engineering.
That's
Okay, thank you. What are you going to do?
Probably study architecture.
Good. How about you?
I'll study law.
Good for you. My daddy made me go to law school. What are you going to do?
Go to college and work hard.
Okay. Anybody going to have any fun? Yeah. I went to the University of Alabama and Roll Tide. Is anybody from Alabama here? Where are you from?
Birmingham.
What's your name?
Emmy Elgin.
Who you, as my father said, who are you people?
I don't know, my parents.
Yeah.
Philip and Jennifer Elgin.
I need to meet him. Tell me who you are. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Tyler Bridges.
What do you teach?
English.
Oh, my Lord. Good for you. What do you do? Yeah.
I'm a sophomore here.
How about the gentleman next to you?
I'm also a sophomore here. Doing something else.
And how about you?
Also a sophomore.
Is anybody not an also sophomore? You who are so dressed up over there, I appreciate that. What do you do?
I'm afraid to say it, but I'm also a sophomore.
You're a piece of work. Good gracious alive. I had some great notes, but I can't get to them. What about you, the last person on the pew? What do you do? Web school taught me that I could pretty much have a conversation with anybody. I met the guy this morning that does some groundwork. Is that right? The man who I said I knew some folks in Birmingham who might be kin to.
Yeah.
Y'all, he is the nicest man. He speaks beautifully. He does groundwork. Y'all know who I'm talking about? Anybody know him? Is that his name? Yeah. Y'all, he's delightful. You'll need to meet him. He speaks beautifully, and he's a nice man, and he's proud of what he does. And I'm just screaming to you, excuse me. But I really enjoyed talking with him today. His last name is Carruthers, and I asked him if he was kin to some Carruthers in Birmingham, and he doesn't know whether he is or not. I don't either. But it was just a joy to meet him. I want somebody to ask me a question. Will you ask me a question? Okay.
How do you get started in real estate?
How do you get started in real estate? You take the test.
Now, how did you get started? And what made
My father wanted me to practice law. The question was, how did I get started in real estate? And my father wanted me to practice law. He thought that's what I should do. You could tell that my daddy had a lot of influence on me. He made me come to the web school back then. And he wanted me to go to Davidson, but he allowed me to go to Alabama. And then he sent me to go to law school. So I interviewed with a good friend of ours. Grandfather was a man named Frank Spain, a very noted man in Birmingham. And he was a very large law firm. And I went to his house and he called me Sam all night. And I decided that was a good omen that I didn't need to practice law. So I worked for a real estate firm for 4 years and then started a firm after those 4 years. And the reason I did is that I love architecture. I love to be around people. And I enjoy putting a buyer and a seller together and making that sale take place. Now, I hadn't sold a house in 35 years probably, but I loved it to begin with. And I realized that I decided I want to make a lot of money. Whether I did or not is up for question maybe. But I love the fact that there's a buyer who wants something that I know I can find, and a seller wants to sell something that I know I can make happen and put them together. And we teach people how to do that. But one of the biggest, and I appreciate you asking that, one of the biggest things that helps us in our business is this, is to put ourselves in the shoes of the buyer and the seller. It has nothing to do with what I like. I want to find out what you like. And that's so true in life, whatever you do, is being empathetic. Put yourselves in the shoes of the person that you want to help and find out what they want, what they need, what their insecurity is, what they really are aspiring to do, and you help them do that from their perspective. But the majority of the houses that we sold thousands of houses in Birmingham. I probably don't like them, or certainly don't want to buy them. But the point is, I want to find out what you like. Somebody else ask me a question, and then y'all share it, please.
How did you make your life different? How did you make yourself unique?
My mother told me it was not, how do I make my life different? My mother told me that, Henry, I would hope that you don't want to be ordinary. Okay, to your question, okay? And I feel that I've got to do more than start. I have to finish. I feel I have a responsibility to other people in addition to myself. And answer your question. There's nothing wonderful about me, but there is something genuine about me. And if I tell you something, I mean it. I may not tell you everything, but if I tell you something, I mean what I tell you. Ask me a question in the striped top. Please. Roll Tide! I love Alabama football, but it has a wonderful business school, and that's what I wanted to learn, and I did. I majored in finance with a real estate option, and that's why I went there. My father did not want me to go, but I did, and I loved it. Okay? I think my time is up. I love this.
Mr. Ray, I feel the anxiety of some of the faculty who really are ready to go back to class. So
I can't teach you. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me be here.
If you had an announcement.
Miss Camp has an announcement.
All right, first announcement is from Mrs. Truitt. Congratulations to the following 5 students who were the high scorers in yesterday's Math League contest. The sum of the scores of these 5 students will be our team score for October. Iris Lin, Yao Zhang, Jerry Zhou, Abigail Boris Fontenot, Stephen Zhang. Thanks to everyone who participated. Our next contest will be November 11th, I think it says. All right, so the other thing is I heard somebody down here wanting to go to law school, and I haven't seen you in mock trial once. What's up with that? Speaking of mock trial, Monday is the last day to join the mock trial group. So if you're interested in joining, please show up or stop by and talk to me about it so I can get you on the roster. We are working with a murder case. Somebody allegedly accidentally murdered their best friend roommate, shot them accidentally in the head while it was dark out. So his accidental thing is a little bit sketchy. So we need your help to come in and help figure this out. All right. So everybody join by Monday, and then we'll get rolling. Thank you.
One second, sorry. All right, so tonight is the dance, the homecoming dance, which is after the football game. Make sure if you want to show up, go. It's a black light dance. If you don't know what that is, look at this picture. That's like black lights. And what's really important about black lights is wearing things that will catch the light, like things like that. So make sure you wear like neon or white so that light can be in the room. And also we're going to have some face paint at the football game that'll be fluorescent for the light. And the dance is free, so that's a good thing. You guys should come to it. It's from 9:30 to 11 p.m. There's going to be some food and drinks, so you can celebrate our big win, or like if we're going to lose, which we're absolutely not going to do, you can come catch a free drink and dance out your rage, because it'll be fun. Also, we're offering some service hours. If you guys want to come talk to me about like setting up for the dance or cleaning up after, just like go see someone on student council and tell them that you want to do it. So yeah, everyone should come. It's going to be a good dance, and we're going to have some glow stuff there, and it'll be fun. So
The dance is in the Student Center, 9:30 to 11. 9:30 to 11. All other announcements you can read online. If you're a Res Life, please do read those announcements online. Once again, thank you to all the visitors we have, and thank you for our 2 distinguished speakers. Can we give them a big hand? All right, we'll see you all at the football game tonight, but before then, please rise. We are going to win. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, seniors. You are dismissed. Everyone else, please.